first two episodes of Hazbin Hotel Season 2 are currently out. I had a chance to watch them last night. I stayed up a little bit, but decided to wait on the review just to get some good night's sleep. So, I'm not happy with the release of these episodes, personally, because, sleep schedule is going to be screwed up a little bit, but all in all, I'm still happy that we're getting Season 2, and I'm hoping that it will improve upon some flaws of Season 1, which I do like, but it's not a perfect season. Immediately with this first episode, the pacing in general is so much better. One of my biggest problems with Season 1 was that the pacing was very quick and on the point, and there isn't much in terms of depth. I feel like in terms of pacing with this episode of Season 2, the first episode of Season 2, it's a lot better than the first episode of Season 1, because if the pilot doesn't count, you have to wait an entire full season to really get to understand the characters and their views or goals, what they're like, and I feel like that while that's fine, I feel like off the bat you should get a little bit of a better impression of these characters and what the overall deal in the plot is off the bat. And while that first episode of Season 1 worked very well, I felt like it had a little bit more meat to the bones. Here, it felt like there was a lot more meat to the bones in this first episode of this season, and the songs here were a lot better than the songs of Season 1 in my opinion. The new intro song Hazbin Guarantee, where it is Vaggie and Charlie singing about how great their hotel is, while Vox and the V's are singing about the sinners trusting their ideology instead of the hotels, already gets us understanding the conflict between these two sides off the bat, what their goal for the most part is going to be until Vox reveals what their actual goal is going to be throughout the season. And we already understand the conflict that's going to brew between these two factions, and it's going to slowly build throughout the course of the season. I really enjoyed how this first episode introduced us not to the characters once again, but get us understand what the rest of the story is going to be between these two factions and how going forward. And the songs themselves are just musically done very well. They are really well sung. I felt like the lyrics were very catchy. They tell the story very well. I love this segment in Hazbin Guarantee where the V's take a customer from the Hazbin Hotel and tries to influence her to be on their side, and we see the consequence of trusting the V's and what's going to happen if these sinners start to go to their side of the conflict, if they are trusting their viewpoints instead of wanting to be redeemed. And so automatically we understand a bit of the consequence of what will happen if the V's win this conflict, and you are already a bit more invested here off the bat than with the first episode of Season 1. Animation wise, I think this was so much better than Season 1. Not that Season 1 wasn't really well animated, but it felt like there was a lot more polish here, especially in the musical segments, the camera work, the animation, the contrast. It was all done very well. The emotional moments, especially this moment where Charlie and Lucifer are just sitting down and talking about how they're able to deal with so much stress going around and how much they miss Lilith, Charlie's mom, Lucifer's wife. I really love the way these scenes are just paced out, and we're just able to linger on these conversations and actually feel like we are in the moment with these characters. As I said, the pacing was a lot better here and allowed these moments to breathe a lot more. Overall, Season 2 started off really well with this first episode. I thought it was very well done, very well animated, beautifully sung. The 2 songs here were very well done. And overall, I get a much better impression of what the rest of the season is going to be like in comparison to the first episode of Season 1. And I cannot wait to see what the rest of this new season of Hazbin Hotel has in store. Thank you guys so much for watching. Please like, subscribe, comment, and I'll see you guys next time.